What's going on, everybody? Andrew from Theme Park Magic here, using my Canon vlogging camera as I am doing today SeaLife Orlando, the aquarium at Icon Park in Orlando, Florida. As I turn around, see this circular hallway that echoes. See more on the aquarium windows. This is greetings from SeaLife Orlando Aquarium. Yeah, these are real fish because they are circular aquarium space. Pretty good. On the screen here it says Atlantic spadefish habitat, coastal waters of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats are habitat destruction and overfishing. Conservation status least concern. Okay. To probably most concern. This fun fact, one female spadefish can lay up to 1 million eggs in a single spawning season. Porkfish. Reefs and rocky floor on the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats are habitat destruction, overfishing is the least concern for conservation status. As fun fact, these fish make a grunting sound by rubbing their teeth together. Huh, almost similar to how humans do that. Queen angelfish. Habitat of tropical reefs of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Habitat threats are habitat destruction. It's the least concern for conservation status. Fun fact says queen angelfish have a crowns. Interesting, makes sense. They're almost like royalty type fish, royal. Large distinctive spot on a queen angelfish's head resembles a crown. Interesting. French angelfish. Habitat is rocky and coral reefs of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats, habitat destruction is the least concern for conservation status. And fun fact, French angelfish are nocturnal, which means they're most active during the day. Almost sounds like nocturnal, but it's like you're active during the day. So the opposite of nocturnal. And this thing, it shows these are the things that are behind the scenes tour of this place. It's pretty interesting. How they do animal care. This is kind of like the equivalent of like SeaWorld Orlando and their aquariums. I apologize, this is an echoey room, so if there's any sort of echo in this video. Interesting. Not an aquarium like this has a behind the scenes tour. Cool. There's the map. So in this map on the screen, where my finger's pointing, we have the photos right here. This is the 3 Soling Ring, Ocean Caves, Jelly Wall, Shipwreck, Atlantic Ocean, Axolots, Tunnel, Pacific Ocean, I guess like 180 degree tunnel. Okay, so that's like 80, but it's actually 180 degree. Behind the scenes tour, 360 degree tunnel, Seahorse Temple. Interesting. Got some interesting names for these different areas. Indian Ocean. feeding frenzy. Everglades. Subaqueous has a play area, looks like, for kids. Coastal rock pools. And the end is the place's gift shop. Very well organized. That's a very interesting map. We have the look down. Habitat is shallow reefs, lagoons, the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats are habitat destruction, overfishing. Is the least concern for conservation status. The fun fact is look downs are easily identified by their tall, sloping foreheads and compressed bodies. Blue striped snapper. Tropical coral reefs of the Indo-Pacific region. Threats is habitat destruction, is the least concern for conservation status. Fun fact, young blue striped snappers spend their time swimming above sandy sea floors. They move out to deeper reefs when they're grown. Blue snapper lives in coastal coral reefs, the Indian Ocean. Threats is habitat destruction, overfishing. Concern is the least concern for conservation status. And the fun fact for this fish is although most snapper species live in salty ocean water, 2 species are known to live in fresh water. Interesting. Blue tang, habitat of tropical coral reefs of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats is habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. And the fun fact is although their bodies may vary in shades from dark to light blue, the fish are always very bright. Coral and rocky reefs of the Indo-Pacific region. Habitat destruction, overfishing, least concern for conservation status. This is the composed torpedo-shaped body, helps it to be a hydrodynamic and efficient swimmer. Okay, that is all the fish that's on the screen in this area. So now we'll move on to the next room. Not to use flash, it can harm our sea creatures. The good thing is that when I make these videos, I think I shut the flash off when I take pictures and everything so it doesn't show. Put some fancy looking spiky type fish here, almost like puffer fish. Oh, this guy is really interested in me. He's understanding what type of being I am. Okay. So on this screen, dark spotted moray eel. Habitat is tropical coastal reefs of the Indo-Pacific region. Threats is habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. Fun fact, these eels grow to about 2.5 feet long. They're as long as standard baseball bat. Honeycomb moray eel. Tropical coastal reefs of the Indo-Pacific region. Threats is habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. Fun fact, honeycomb morays are nocturnal hunters, spending their days in caves and reef crevices and hunting at night. So like nocturnal type of eels. Spotted moray eel. Live in the coral reefs of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. The spotted moray usually grows at least 2 feet long, but can reach lengths over 6 feet. Okay. French grunt. Habitat is tropical coral reefs of the Western Atlantic Ocean. Threats habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. French grunts are nocturnal hunters coming out at night to search for crustaceans and mollusks to eat. Blotched foreface. Tropical reefs and lagoons in the Indo-Pacific region is where they live. Habitat destruction is a threat. Data deficient for conservation status, meaning they don't have enough data on this animal. In fact, the blotched foreface, fox face, is named for the black spot or blotch on the bright yellow body. Continuing on to finish up the list of fish in this area, raccoon butterfly fish. Habitat is coral reefs, the Indo-Pacific and Southeast Atlantic. Threats is habitat destruction, least concern for conservation status. In fact, these fish are named for the markings around their eyes, which look like the mark of a raccoon. Kind of interesting and scary at the same time, how raccoons are. These are like equivalent looks to them. Red lionfish. Okay, so it was this guy right here. That was the red lionfish. Lives in the tropical reefs and lagoons of the Indo-Pacific region. Habitat destruction and overfishing are the threats. Least concern for conservation status. Fun fact is red lionfish were accidentally introduced to the Caribbean Sea and have become an invasive species. Okay, so this red lionfish you just saw in there is considered an invasive species. Soldierfish lives in the coral reefs of the Indian Pacific Oceans. Habitat destruction and overfishing are the threats. Least concern for conservation status. Soldierfish are often observed schooling with other species like squirrelfish. I did not know that squirrelfish were a type of fish. Now we're getting the squirrelfish I just mentioned right earlier. Tropical reefs of the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans is where they live. Threats, habitat destruction varies by species as the conservation status, so it's variable. Squirrelfish have relatively large eyes because they are usually active at night. Interesting. Some of these fish are active at nighttime. Did not know that at all. This is about the lionfish that are devastating the Atlantic Ocean. Huh. Interesting that that is the main type of fish that they're focusing on. The lionfish being invaded. Ocean haze section. There's another view of the tank, and there's some people in there.
Here come the heavies, ready to catch us some food, gentlemen.
Looks like a recording audio of the fish or something in there, like their narrations.
Back up, boys. That's my cleaner. He's not under there.
It says the world's underwater cave systems are home to a variety of fascinating creatures with a slim snake-like body. The moray eel, as well as adapted to hiding in rocky crevices, or ventures out to feed. Prospecting and drilling for reserves of oil, gas, and materials deep beneath the seabed poses a major threat to sensitive marine habitats and species. Interesting. Another cave section here. Interesting. Another section here. Another section here. Splendid garden eel. Lives in sandy seafloors of the tropical Indo-Pacific region. Threats is habitat destruction. Least concern for conservation status. Garden eels typically plant their bodies and their burrows. This is their heads poking out. Ocean invaders. Despite having no bones, brains, or hearts, jellies have thrived for over 5 million years. Jellies continue to appear in some waters for the first time. Scientists are investigating if human activity and climate change could be responsible. Jellies develop into huge swarms like they can consume vast amounts of plankton, depriving other fish of their food needed to survive. This is what the jellyfish look like. This is older than dinosaurs. Long before T-Rex, there was the jellyfish. It was one of the very first animals to live in our ocean. I got a sign for headphone zone if there are people who have sensory issues in this attraction. Shark shipwreck. Sharks have been around for more than 400 million years, existed before the dinosaurs. There are around 440 species of shark currently living in the world's oceans. Millions of sharks are caught for their fins every year. Finless sharks are often thrown back into the sea to die. That's unfortunate. It says protect the Sea Life Trust is campaigning globally to protect sharks from the threat of finning and unstable fishing. So briefly, just some of the specific fish on the screens to reduce how many times I have to go through all of these things. So I'm going to do the crab and the shrimp. So the thin striped hermit crab lives in the shell coral reefs of the western Atlantic Ocean. That's its habitat destruction, not evaluated for conservation status. In fact, hermit crabs have very soft abdomens, which they protect by moving into empty shells of snails and other mollusks. With these, habitat is the SeaLife crab, Pacific and Atlantic coast of South and Central America. Threat to habitat destruction. Available for conservation status. Fun fact, these coral crabs have 5 pairs of legs, including the front pair, which is small claws. Fire shrimp. Interesting. Tropical coral reefs in the Indo-Pacific regions where they live. Threat is habitat destruction. Not available for conservation. These brightly colored, clear striped shrimp are known as blood shrimp because of their red color. Makes sense. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Just the tangs and the different fish similar to the other ones, which you can probably see in here and read off those signs about those fish. But I think these are sea urchins, or the crabs are in there that I just mentioned.
There's a giant leopard grouper back there.
There's this side of the tank. This is interesting. It's one of those places you would see in like a pirate museum or anywhere else, tying a knot. I've actually done this at other like pirate and boat museums that has similar thing like this. It says, did you know when sharks bite humans, it is typically a case of mistaken identity? Silvery, less than 3% of the over 400 species of sharks have been known to. Okay. And I have a thing about a surfer and a sea lion. A shark doesn't know who is who. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, the video game is over there.
Imagine that.
Interesting. Let's see what this thing is. Okay.
Timing is everything. Pretty sweet, huh?
Oh, it's like a little game thing. It's cool. Looks like a swordfish saw shark. This is cool.
Whoa. How do you think it's
Oh, we got a score of 102. That's cool.
Seriously, great. Thank
Okay, so here's a shark on the screen.
camouflage?
Migration.
He matches the seabed.
Okay. We have a shark tracker. There's Sarah and Julianne. Looks like they live in.
Pick the shark. You got a black
Let's see where that area is. It looks like Australia?
I don't know. Oh, Daddy's over there. You want to look
Let's see about the saw shark.
Hey, Dad.
Well, this is cool.
Look at the hammerhead or the saw.
Move the saw shark. Spin him around as you can see his whole body on the screen. That's pretty good. You have the little animated character down there saying about protecting saw sharks. Interesting. Star. Is there anything on the screen? Oh, anemones. Okay.
Julia!
Excuse me. Okay, Atlantic Ocean. Fishy friends. You scratch my scale or scratch yours. Some sea creatures make friends in order to help each other survive. This is called a symbolic relationship. Okay, clown and I want to say the other type of fish to pronounce the name incorrectly. The clownfish lives an entire life amongst the tentacles of a bulb tentacle sea anemone. Okay. Like our fish, a layer of mucus on the clownfish's skin makes it immune to the fish eating anemone's lethal sting. Okay. It's kind of similar to like what clownfish like Nemo in the movie is like. They exchange for safety from predators and food scraps. The clownfish drives off intruders and brings its host, removing parasites. So kind of like it does like a landscaping job for that fish. Exole is a special type of salamander. Okay. They are found in Lake, I'm gonna say X because I don't know how to pronounce that. Or I'll try Xochimilco. Okay. Complex in central Mexico, which contains the last remnants of the canals and floating gardens of the great Aztec city of Tencolan. Okay. Their larvae or young live in water and breathe with gills. The adults are able to live on land and breathe with lungs. They're able to reproduce in larva state, unlike other salamanders today. The Mexican axle is critically endangered and nearly extinct in the wild. Interesting. Name axle originated with the Aztecs. Maybe translated as Atl, meaning water, okay, and Axel, meaning monster, so water monster. Ancient Aztecs were intrigued by the Axel, as strange as appearance and its incredible generative powers. They believed it was a manifestation of the god Axel, who ferried the dead to underworld spooky. Okay. Interesting. For axles remaining in water guarantees that they'll be forever young. Okay, so they'll never age. The axle is one of the few animals on Earth that remain in their aquatic larval form throughout their entire lives. Its unique superpower called neotony means that axles keep their larval features, especially gills, fins, and never change into adults. Salamanders. Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the world's warmest ocean. As a result, the production of phytoplankton, a food source for a wide range of sea creatures, is low, limiting life for the majority of the ocean. In 1979, the National Whaling Commission designed the whole Indian Ocean south to 55 degrees as a whale sanctuary and banned whaling from within it. Sadly, these beautiful animals are still hunted in some regions of the world. It says protect SeaLife Trust is working with Whale and Dolphin Conservation (WDC) to wipe out commercial whaling. Meet Ted. Welcome to SeaLife. Ted is a rescue longhead sea turtle acquired by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, who was released multiple times. However, continued to return to share and did not display behavior that was consistent with survival in the wild. How Ted helped turtles. Ted was collected as a hatching by the National Marine Fisheries Service as one of the first sea turtles to test turtle excluder devices. Ted's, from which he got his name. Ted's escape hatches and fishing nets allow turtles to escape. They're accidentally trapped but retain desired seafood catch. Interesting. Little cuttlefish. These fish, okay. Clown Anton fish, or 28 species of clownfish. In the group, these animals are charged with meals. Yellow tangs. These fish are native to several oceans. Over 70% are found just west of Hawaii. Long-headed sea turtles. Sea turtles use the Earth's magnetic field, navigate the sea, and return to nesting sites. Horseshoe crabs. These creatures are considered living fossils, which animals that predate dinosaurs. Black spot porcupine fish. In case of danger, the porcupine fish can inflate itself, okay, by swallowing water. So that's just similar to a puffer fish.